Hi, I'm Imogen. I'm a freshman at the University of Pittsburgh, and I have a question about genetic inheritance. Am I more genetically similar to my mother or my father? In human reproduction, the two major components are the egg cell and the sperm cell, both of which carry a random combination of half of each parent's DNA. These cells are called gametes, which are created by a process called meiosis, in which a parent cell creates a copy of its DNA, shuffles the genes randomly, and splits it into a total of 4 unique cells with a random set of 23 chromosomes. When two gametes combine, their DNA mixes to create a genetically unique organism. So for most cases, it is true that half of your DNA comes from each parent. But let's take a step back and look at the egg and the sperm. See that size difference? Egg cells are about 10,000 times larger than sperm cells, but they contain the same amount of DNA. Why? Well, sperm cells are essentially DNA missile launchers that wiggle around trying to hit their target, but the egg cells are what support and develop the growing organism after fertilization, so it has to hold all the resources it will need for that process. Inside an egg cell is everything you need to grow a baby, including mitochondria. These powerhouses of the cell create the energy the embryo needs to grow properly. But inside the mitochondria, there's something really important, mitochondrial DNA. You might not have known that there's DNA in organelles, but this can be explained by the endosymbiotic theory and evolution from billions of years ago. When organisms were still single-celled, there were big organisms with a nucleus to hold their DNA, called eukaryotes, and smaller organisms that had their DNA just hanging out, called prokaryotes, for example, bacteria. The theory is that a eukaryote engulfed some of these prokaryotes, but instead of eating it up, the cell kept it and integrated it into its daily functioning. Ancient prokaryotes became mitochondria and chloroplasts, which both have DNA. So mitochondria have circular DNA, similar to modern prokaryotic DNA, containing instructions for the mitochondria to do one of the most important jobs in the body, turning sugar and oxygen into 90% of the energy that we use every day. In each one of your cells, there is mitochondria and its DNA, which you receive from your mother, just barely making the difference with mitochondrial DNA. You are technically 51% genetically similar to your mother and only 49% similar to your father. But why is that important? Let's look at a pedigree, a model for inheritance of genetic traits. For a standard genetic trait, let's use brown hair, the pedigree would display that not every offspring will receive that trait, and any parent can pass that trait down. However, in instances when the trait being highlighted comes from mitochondrial DNA, all of the offspring receive the trait if the mother possesses it, and only female individuals can pass it down because the offspring's mitochondria are the same as their mother's. In cases of genetic disorders caused by mitochondrial mutations, the unique inheritance pattern can make it easier to identify. Well, I found that interesting. Thanks for watching.